This movie doesn't feel strange at first, but something is already off. You just don't see it yet. It looks like a normal story, a quiet student, a rich friend, a beautiful campus, but almost immediately something feels wrong. The pauses last too long, the smiles feel forced, and Oliver watches more than he speaks. The movie begins with Oliver Quick talking about his bond with Felix, a wealthy and popular classmate. He claims he cared deeply for Felix, but insists he wasn't in love with him. That line sounds harmless, but it already feels defensive, like he's trying to convince us before the story even starts. Everything is told from Oliver's perspective, and that's important, because if Oliver is lying, then the entire story is built on manipulation. Oliver arrives at Oxford in 2006 on a scholarship. He's surrounded by students born into wealth and privilege. He doesn't belong here, and he knows it. He stays quiet, observing, studying, watching. Then he sees Felix for the first time, and instantly becomes fixated. It doesn't feel like admiration. It feels like he's choosing a target. Soon Oliver meets Michael, an awkward and slightly unsettling student.
So you're a Norman no mates too then? It's just me and you, mate. I don't even like maths, really. I can just do it. Ask me a sum.
Nah, you're rogue. No, I believe.
Fucking ask me a sum then!
Their conversation is uncomfortable, not friendly, not warm. It feels like Oliver is testing him, deciding whether he's useful. And when he isn't, Oliver slowly distances himself. This is the first subtle sign. Oliver doesn't make friends. He selects them. His clash with Farley makes things worse.
And thus, the shape of the verse can be said like Browning's last touches.
Very good.
Thus. Just a funny word.
Why?
We really use it in real life, do we?
Not really.
No.
Farley immediately dislikes him, almost like he senses something off. And this is important. Farley is the only one who never fully trusts Oliver. One day, Felix is stranded with a flat tire, and Oliver helps him.
Take my bike.
No, I couldn't. I mean,
I'll just get it from you later.
fuck, that's kind. Are you serious? Thank you. I'm sorry I don't know your name. I'm Felix.
Oliver.
Mwah. I love you, seriously.
Okay.
Thank you so much, mate. I'll just leave yours in the bike shed, yeah?
Fine.
It looks like a simple act of kindness, a lucky coincidence. But the disturbing part is, it wasn't an accident. Later we learn Oliver sabotaged the bike himself. Their entire friendship started with manipulation, and this is where everything quietly changes. As Oliver grows closer to Felix, he begins inserting himself into his world. He laughs when Felix laughs, agrees with everything, always nearby. At first, it looks like admiration, but slowly, it starts to feel like imitation.
Hey, I was just seeing if Felix was in.
Meanwhile, Annabelle unexpectedly hooks up with Oliver after Felix ignores her. The moment feels sudden and emotionally empty. Oliver doesn't seem excited. He just seems satisfied, like he's moving closer to Felix by any means. But Oliver's constant presence begins to wear on Felix. He starts pulling away, and this is where Oliver becomes desperate, because losing Felix means losing everything. One night, Oliver shows up crying, claiming his father has died. He describes a broken home, addiction, and nowhere safe to go. Felix feels sympathy and invites him to Saltburn. It sounds compassionate, but later we realize the entire story was a lie. Oliver didn't open up, he performed.
So home doesn't mean the same for me as it does for you, Felix.
Well, why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
Saltburn.
When Oliver arrives at Saltburn, the estate is beautiful, elegant, almost dreamlike. But something feels off. The family is warm, yet distant. Friendly, yet invasive. Lady Elspeth asks deeply personal questions immediately.
Oh, but darling, you're kind about everyone. You can't be trusted. Darling, tell me about your mother. How is she bearing up?
Felix looks uncomfortable. Oliver looks exposed. But at the same time, he doesn't resist. It's like he wants them to study him. The group later lounges naked in a field, carefree and relaxed. For them, it's normal. For Oliver, it's something else. He watches them, memorizes them. He's not part of the group. He's observing it. Then comes the bathtub scene. Oliver secretly watches Felix masturbating. After Felix leaves, Oliver enters the bathroom and drinks the bathwater. The movie doesn't cut away. It forces you to sit in the discomfort. This isn't admiration anymore. This is obsession. And this is the moment you realize something is deeply wrong. Oliver then plants doubt in Elspeth's mind about Pamela. He doesn't accuse her directly. He just suggests maybe she shouldn't be trusted. It's subtle, quiet, calculated. Pamela is removed from the house soon after. Another obstacle, gone. Later, Oliver has an uncomfortable encounter with Venetia in the garden. The moment feels invasive and emotionally empty.
You need to look after yourself.
It's not the right time of the month.
It's lucky for you, Hannah, sounds like. You got something there.
Farley witnesses it and immediately tells Felix. Farley is still watching, still suspicious. At the party, Farley humiliates Oliver during karaoke. Everyone laughs. Oliver smiles, but something shifts. He doesn't react normally. He absorbs it. That night, Oliver sneaks into Farley's room and threatens him. The tension is quiet, suffocating. It's not loud aggression. It's psychological intimidation. And the next morning, Farley is gone. Pamela's death is mentioned casually, almost like it doesn't matter. The family barely reacts. The house feels colder. Then Felix discovers Oliver lied about his family. His parents are alive. His home is normal. Everything Oliver said was fabricated. Felix feels betrayed and finally sees the truth. Oliver didn't want friendship. He wanted entry.
I think the best thing is that you go home after your party. I will see you back at Oxford.
And we can still be friends, though. I don't even know why I said it.
You're a fucking liar, Ollie. Why would you lie?
I just wanted to be a friend.
Look, let's just get through tonight.
At Oliver's birthday party, guests don't even know his name. He stands surrounded by people, completely invisible. This is the moment he realizes he will never truly belong. He runs into the maze. Felix follows. They argue. By morning, Felix is dead, and everything after that feels wrong. The family barely questions Oliver.
Come on now, help me.
Oliver, darling, why don't you tell us about last night?
Yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you.
He stays at Saltburn. Life continues. It's eerie, unnatural, like the house itself is swallowing the truth. Venetia later confronts Oliver, accusing him of preying on the family.
You only knew him 6 months?
I think you're a moth.
I bet you're wearing his underwear too, aren't you?
The next morning, she's dead in the bathtub. Another coincidence, another silence. James finally forces Oliver to leave.
Is everything all right?
How long are you planning on staying with us?
I'm happy to stay as long as she needs me to.
I think it's time, Oliver, for you to go home.
I just think it's best if I stay. Just for the time being.
You won't go.
I don't see how I can.
How much? This will be a fresh start for you too.
Why are you doing this?
How much?
But the damage is already done. Years later, Oliver returns, and the truth is revealed. He sabotaged Felix's bike. He poisoned him in the maze. He manipulated Venetia. He framed Farley. He removed everyone, one by one. Nothing was accidental. The final confession is calm, emotionless. Oliver explains everything like it was inevitable. His feelings for Felix weren't love. They were obsession, envy, control. The film ends with Oliver dancing naked in the empty mansion. He finally belongs, but the house feels lifeless, silent, hollow. He got everything he wanted, and somehow, that's the most disturbing part.